To switch it up, that's how we po. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Okay. Mike Good, true. What the fuck this game called? I don't even know what this game called. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Let me put that in the chat so I don't. Okay. That way if somebody come in, if they ask what game I'm playing, don't tell them shit. Because everybody that follow me been on YouTube way too long not to know how to look at a pinned comment. Have you played Snake Parable before? No. I just slide onto the computer is very visible. So let me look on here because my screen be slightly lighter than y'all's. Oh no, it's cool. Let me see how low I can go. See now y'all can't see it, but I can see it like all the way on my screen. So let me go up a little bit. See what it look like for y'all. Do this. That should be good enough. Well, let me turn my brightness all the way up. My dumb ass, I keep forgetting my phone. Brightness be down. See, I probably could see it. Okay, I'll do this. Please enter the current time. It is, what's up, Clem? In the city of St. Louis, in the state of Missouri, it is currently 9:16 p.m. So let me put it 9. Oh shit, 9:16. Let me see how close is 9:17. Yeah, I heard of it too. So I think I'm gonna like it because the game is like a sarcastic asshole, kind of like me. So I think I'm gonna like it. Hopefully the puzzles ain't too crazy. And yeah, this is not a horror game. The game is like, it's not scary. I think it is parts where it's like dark, but it's not dark in no like horror way. It's just dark for puzzles, I think. So ain't no jump scares, nothing like that. This game could have been in VR.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Well, all right, okay. I heard how this game was so fucking clever, so I'm happy I finally got to play it. Cause I kept forgetting to get this game.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
And I heard the game was so good, and one thing I'm happy about is I didn't spoil myself, so I don't know what's going on. I just know what the gameplay is like. So all of this is new to me. No, I'd say 95% of it is new to me. You say you're going to be quiet? Okay. Hey, if you got any hints and you see I'm stuck somewhere, feel free to let me know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What's up, Black Dust? Okay, I love this game already. You see how they kind of would slide with this shit, right? Even though he knew he picked the wrong door. Like, we just told you which one to go to, nigga. I love it.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Can I get a soda? I don't even drink soda.
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
So I was listed to go make a run. Okay. One of those mind teaser games. Yeah, I see.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm gonna disobey. Rebel.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
I love this game already.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Oh, we got some plot right there.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Okay, this kind of got deep kind of quick. I'm kind of scared. It's like an AI robot. I love the English or the British humor. I love that, the dry humor. I love that shit.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
What the fuck is going on?
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Why he sound he crying? I don't know how to pick up the phone. Oh. Did I beat the game?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh, no.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
Oh, you an
I'm trying to make a
asshole.
point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Oh, he an asshole. That's fucked up. You do look like dry, sarcastic, patronizing humor. Yes, I do that. It's funny because I've been doing that so much as a kid. I don't notice when I do it sometimes. And my friend, like his mom, loves that I do that dry humor shit. I don't even be trying a lot of times. It just come out naturally.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Goddamn.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Hey, hold on, bro. Who the fuck you talking to? This is getting personal. I played this game at the right time because I used to be outside all the fucking time. Now that I'm an old man that like to go to work and go home. Am I Stanley?
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
If you old, I'm an ancestor. Hey.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Yeah, spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Damn. So, do I get a door to go through? So he just imagined the illusion of choice. That's pretty sad. I kind of like the apartment though, I ain't gonna lie. Even though it's small as hell, I like it.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Like, if I didn't have a house, tell your kids a story, you ain't got no kids. If I didn't have a house and I had an apartment that looked like this, I would definitely decorate it differently, but I'd be cool with it. And now it's just an office room.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head, he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
So you gonna restart the game?
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
Damn.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I'm not gonna do it. K9, I'm gonna be nice to you. I'm not gonna tell you the game I'm playing, but it's in the chat. It's somewhere in the chat. Why you tell them, Black Dust? People gotta learn. Well, now it's definitely in the chat. I guess I gotta press the button. Or can I just sit here? Let me see if there's a way out. Shut your black ass up. Because it irks me when people refuse to read. They will type and not read. I have it pinned that what the game is called. I have it pinned for a reason. And then you can scroll up and see it. I'm just saying. Because I wasn't going to tell you. All right, let me press this button.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Is it a mirror? Hold on, wait. Can I open this? No. Wait, why is this? Hold on. I don't really have a choice. I look like I dug myself into a hole. There's no way I can question anything. Unless I'm missing something. Circle, triangle, X, up, down, left, right. I guess I gotta press this.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley.
I forgot my lighter.
I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button.
Please die.
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
The end is never. Hold on. I'm gonna get my lighter. I'm gonna take y'all with me as I go upstairs and get my lighter. Okay, let me see. There we go. Lighter acquired. And now I'm heading back down. I done took y'all through my house. I must really like y'all. Okay. Let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yeah, the color palette is really dope. The game is definitely easy on the eyes. Oh, I can open doors? Wait a minute.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
What if I don't? What if I like the broom closet?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
What if he lying? What I like about this game is I could just like do stuff. I shouldn't even pause the game.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What's that? I can't see it. Fuck him.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
I knew it.
He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming.
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I think I get it already. The narrator is like the bad guy. I think I get it. It's almost
All of
like
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
because he influencing their mind. Yeah, the narrator is the bad guy. In a way, that is kind of
Stanley came
scary.
to a set of two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
He also know like
Yet
hella
there was
personal
not
shit
a
about
single
you.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
He said, I'm not doing this at all. Yeah. So I gotta mix it up. I gotta do some stuff he tell me to do, and then some stuff he don't tell me to do. I'm trying to see if like he says something while I'm in the broom closet. Wait, let me see. Let me do this.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
To be rich, is it a crime to commit crimes? Isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Why is it written on the wall like that? Hold on, when I press X, When I press X, all you hear is buttons typing, like you on a keyboard. That's crazy.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I haven't played Callisto Protocol. I heard of it. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I might look into it and play it. Oh, we back downstairs, ain't we? The fuck?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Hold on. This say escape right here. I know y'all see this. Why would I walk into a mind control facility?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Alright, this how we gonna see if he lying or not. I feel like I don't know.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
You see how he tried to get in your head? Like, shit.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Nah, fuck it. I know it's a crouch button, okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh, shit. I can't see.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
So he tried to kill me for real, I think. And I think she saved me. Hold on, this is different.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
That's where the 2 doors is at. Yep. It's the end of the game.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design, textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. Stanley stood and finally.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking...
Hold on, bruh. Hold on. So I have to really turn my game off? How would the game remember that? Is it part of the game? Like, so now it's like the person playing is a third person. Like now, this is crazy. I wonder if that actually worked. If I turn this shit off, I gotta stop the stream. It restarted. And I might do this shit for no reason. I'm gonna feel like a dumbass. Alright, fuck it. We just gonna die, I guess.
Someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time.
Right. It's like mind games is the best. Cause I'm like, fuck. Should I turn it off? Nah, if I wasn't streaming, I'd turn it off just to see what happened. But since I'm streaming, I'm gonna keep it on.
Choose for you. Don't let time.
Damn, I had to turn it off.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
He locked the broom
hoping he might
closet.
find an answer there.
He locked the broom closet. That's funny.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, that's why I think the second narrator was right. I think we would have got the best ending if I would have turned the PlayStation off and then started it back up. Like I said, if I wasn't streaming, that's what I would have did. I don't know where we going. I like the music though. Wait, what? Let me go down. Oh, I gotta wait. Oh wait, I might as well go up then. No, go up. on, y'all. Okay, so you don't go nowhere. All right.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word Escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Strong bad sound familiar. Damn.
It's the kind of thing you pick up on in shooting.
I don't know how to get out. Where'd I go last time to get out? But there we go.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't